I have to agree with my ladies in the chat when they say that you just don't think that these stories could get worse. And then you have nights like tonight, and I'm just like, are you kidding me? Thank you to everybody who sent me these stories, not only to Roof for Eyes, Illicit Deeds, and everybody else that sent it. I can't give every single person credit, but nonetheless, I thank you guys for being concerned enough about what's going on with these kids. We're going to talk about this individual that you guys see, and there is so much to talk about. So without any further ado, let's get it. Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, news web articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. Now, my news source is actually heavy.com right now, so thank you for this article. The individual that you guys see on my screen, her name is Mariah Thomas, and she is a Kansas City, Missouri mother who is accused of accidentally putting her 1-month-old baby in an oven for a nap, killing her. So the part that I'm not sure if they say or not, because I read a bunch of different articles, she turned the oven on. Let that sink in for a moment. According to prosecutors who have accused Thomas, the mother, of endangering the welfare of a child, according to kansascity.com. Court documents were filed on February the 10th, not even a week ago, depending on when you're watching this, the day after the child died. According to VineLink, Thomas is 26 years old and has been in custody since February the 10th. So let's talk about some important details. Prosecutors say that the infant had burn marks on her body and melted clothing, kansascity.com reported. And the baby that you guys saw on my screen, let me see if I can get that baby's face up here. That is such a beautiful little baby. And this child, and it sucks because we don't know what these babies could have grown up to become. They could have been great, great people. And I think that every baby deserves an opportunity to do that. And let me tell you guys how I feel about mental illness, because you're going to have some mental illness warriors out there that are going to say, well, Jay, you don't know what she was going through. Jay, you don't know what she was suffering from. Jay, she was just having a bad day. Jay, she's actually a good mother. Jay, I've known her since we were in kindergarten, Jay, and I know she's a good person. And one time she let me color with her crayons when we were in elementary school, Jay. And one time she had a piece of her sandwich and she gave me a piece of her sandwich, Jay. A million freaking excuses that they will give these people and totally forget about this beautiful, innocent baby. What the hell happened here? When police arrived, the baby had been moved to a car seat inside the house and had burn wounds, the newspaper reported, adding that prosecutors believe the mother mistakenly placed the infant in the oven, which I'm going to just tell y'all it's not a mistake, okay? It wasn't an accident, wasn't a mistake. How such a mistake could be made was not explained. The baby died at the scene. Now, according to a probable cause affidavit obtained by kansascity.com, Thomas is accused of having accidentally placed her in the oven instead of the crib. And it makes me wonder, what level of freaking dumb do you have to be to not know the difference between an MFing oven and an MFing baby crib? What level of stupid must you be to not understand something that basic? And you're talking about somebody who's in charge of leading and guiding and providing for a human life. I would not let this woman watch my goldfish, let alone a human baby. I think that she doesn't have all her marbles. I think that she's a few cards short of a full deck. I think that she's a few tacos short of a combination plate. I think that this woman is slower than a bottle of molasses that was left out in the snow. I think that if you let this woman race a turtle, she will probably lose. Okay? All of those things. I'm going to have to clip that and make that a short. That was funny. But what's not funny is the fact that these are people who are in charge of lives. These are people who are hashtag, can we get a hashtag babies for benefits? She didn't love this child. And I'm going to show y'all the large level of narcissism. And I use large as a double entendre. How about that big word for a moment? Double entendre. Okay? According to a probable cause affidavit, this was an accident. To her words, she is accused of telling a witness, I thought I put the, what is this child's name? I will find it because I want to pay homage to this baby. I'll find it here in a minute. She thought I put the baby in the crib and I accidentally put her in the oven. According to ABC 7 Chicago, police were called to the home for a report of a child who was not breathing. We appreciate all first responders who worked the scene and the prosecutors who went to the scene to issue these charges. We acknowledge the gruesome nature of this tragedy and our hearts are weighed by the loss of this precious life. Trust the criminal justice system to respond appropriately to these awful circumstances. Now, about her Facebook, which we're going to get into here in a moment. The mother, Mariah Thomas, posted pictures of her infant daughter quite a bit, a whole lot. As a matter of fact, I normally don't do this, but how about this? We're going to take a look at some pictures on the big screen. So I'm going to expand this so you guys can see this. This is her active and open Facebook page. I normally don't tell people to go to someone's social media, but in this case, she's in jail. I don't think it's any harm to at least see what type of narcissism she's actually on. That's the name of her page right there. But she constantly posted pictures of her infant daughter. She would post things and said things like, twin, where have you been? TWIN, referring to the baby as her twin. Nobody knows me like you do, Zariah May. So the baby's name is Zariah. So there you go. Why would they redact it in one and then turn around and put her name in later in the article? But whatever. Zariah, that's the baby's name. She wrote on with a post on February the 8th, a person responded to the comment thread, girl, she put this baby in the oven and baked it. SMH. Just can't be that goddamn stupid. And be a mother and be a parent. Just come on, man. These stories are just absolutely ridiculous. Can y'all please hit that thumbs up? This is about to get so bad. You almost put it on your channel. Well, look, please do. Please do. I've got screenshot after screenshot. And I'm going to tell y'all, the more I kept scrolling on her Facebook page, I was like, there's still more. She kept posting stupid stuff. On February 3rd, she wrote, my daughter sleeps like she done worked a 12-hour shift with laughing emojis. I honestly don't think that this individual has any idea about humanity at all. With showing a photo of her kissing her baby, she wrote, mother and daughter bond. On January 30th, she wrote, I'm most definitely getting drunk on my birthday. January 30th, this is less than a month ago. Actually, yeah, half a month ago. She said, I'm most definitely getting drunk on my birthday and I'm not pregnant. Oh yeah, I'm most definitely turning TF up. Her birthday was on February the 8th, according to Jackson County Jail booking records. To me, oh, you know what? Look at that picture right there. That actually might be the one. You talk about evidence. Depending on what day she posted this picture. Do y'all see this? What's that in her hand? That is a half a bottle of, what is that? It's something brown. Is that Hennessy? Y'all know our folks like Hennessy. I'm just assuming. And I want y'all to take a look at this picture. What do you guys see in this picture? What's wrong with this picture? Let me give a shout out to all my poor people out there, including myself. About to tear up some stuff over here. So I got to give myself a shout out too, because I'm poor also. But shout out to all the poor people out there. Y'all said is Douce. I don't know what the hell it is. That kind of does look like a Douce bottle. I don't think that you should be a parent and have children if you cannot afford a bed. Ma'am, that is not a bed. And I'm assuming since it looks like it's, and I'm going to give her credit, maybe it's a queen size inflatable mattress. It might not be because half the picture is cut out. That could be a twin. Or it could be a full. I guess it could be a full. But it looks like it might be a queen mattress because queens and fulls are usually about the same price. You should not be a parent having children if you can't even afford a bed and a mattress and not have the mattress on the floor. Second of all, look at how filthy the floor is. Third of all, she has sheets covering the windows, which is highly ghetto, right? And the thing is that bottle of Douce is probably about $75 if I'm not mistaken. $75 to $100. That bottle costs more than the freaking bed that she has that she's standing in front of. Yes? Filthy house, I just thought I'd point that out because she talked about getting drunk and turning up on her birthday while being a very, very, very young mother, okay? Thomas wrote that she became a mother on December the 14th. Not even barely 2 months. She wrote, I don't have friends at all. This SHII sad man. And the ones I do got only FW me on they time. They only mess with you on their time. Yeah, that's because maybe they're also parents. Also, priorities. Thank you for saying that. Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. On January 22nd, she wrote, and matter of fact, all of these quotes are not even the ones I'm getting ready to show you. On January 22nd, she wrote, my daughter will be 2 months old next month. I'm most definitely a proud mommy. The day before, she wrote on Facebook, my goal this year for 2024 is to be the best mother I can be to my beautiful daughter and to stay out of drama. Can y'all believe that? This is the mother who placed her daughter in an oven. So only one or two reasons I could think that you will place your daughter in an oven. One, because you're so dumb and maybe you're just big and wide that you just thought that you was hungry and you thought you was going to put you like a roast in the oven or something and stick a... Look how big she is. God damn. Jesus. Either she was hungry and put the child in the oven, looking to make her a meal. Maybe she didn't have no food at the house. Or option number two, maybe she's just that damn dumb. She said also to get a place for me and my daughter, for only me and my daughter. Why would you have a child and not have your own place? Why would you produce children and not have your own place? I know people do it. I know people get through it. I know people personally that have done it and raised children. I just think that going forward, that we shouldn't raise children until we have ourselves stable, prepared to financially provide and emotionally provide for children. That's all I'm saying. Her Facebook profile says she's from Kansas City, Missouri, and adds, "Leave me alone, mommy of a princess." Her cover photo on Facebook is a picture showing her giving the middle finger to the camera. Let's talk about that. Because I'm going to tell y'all this hood stupid mentality. I think that these are indicators of someone, when you look at a picture like this shows you she is a bad person. She is a bad parent. She is uncouth and not feminine. Okay? Let's take a look at another picture. Oh, I can't do it that way. It's okay. I'm going to just do it like this. Let me show you guys another picture. Let's take a look at this screenshot right here. Just so y'all can see, she said on January 5th, "I just love being a mommy. I wouldn't trade it for nothing in this world." I wouldn't trade it for nothing actually is a double negative, which means you actually would. For those who might have caught that. Okay. Now, somebody in the chat actually said 4 days ago, they said, "You traded it for a 6x6 sale, maybe the electric chair. That's some demonic stuff." And I would have to agree. Okay, let's talk about this next screenshot. How old is she? What? How old did they say? What, 24? She's 26 years old. So she's actually two years older than when I had my daughter. 26. Let's take a look at this. On January the 12th, she wrote, "The only reason why MFers is effing with me and liking my stuff is because I got a baby now. At first, MFers was talking down on me running my name through the mud. Keep that fake stuff over there because me and Zariah don't want none of that fake love." How many of you guys have watched my channel enough to know how many times have I talked about this thing? Hashtag babies for benefits. So nobody liked her, nobody talked to her, and nobody was a real friend to her until she had a child. So now she gets attention. Now people want to talk to her. Now people feign an interest in a child and still not her. And she feels some type of way about it. Doesn't that sound like babies for benefits? She used this child to get people to talk to her and like her and pay her some attention because as a human being, she sucks so bad, nobody actually wants to be around her. Let's move on to the next screenshot here. And please hit that thumbs up if you guys are watching. Now, let's talk about this screenshot. From her Facebook page, which is still active. So if you don't like it, y'all can go take a look at the page yourself. There's still probably more that I haven't even talked about. I don't know if y'all can see this. Actually, I could do it like this. Look at what she wrote about herself. Can y'all see this? This is after her child. Now she thinks someone sexually wants her because now she could prove and say, well, look, somebody sexually thought I was attractive. They came in me with an unprotected penis and I made a baby. My fine ass is what she wrote. How narcissistic is that? I think any human being, let alone women, that says that type of stuff about themselves, I'm pretty, I'm beautiful, I'm fine, I know everybody wants me. I think that level of narcissism is unattractive, and I think it's dumb, and I think it's just a sign of a bad human being, in my humble personal opinion. Let's talk about this. Yep, that screenshot. She wrote on January 13th, and on her Facebook page, she said, I'm a mother first before anything, so don't ever try and question my motherhood. Do y'all know what that term is called? Do y'all remember AFC? It's called infallible. Infallible. Let me see if I can get Google to tell me. What does the term infallible mean?
Here's the definition of infallible: incapable of making mistakes or being wrong.
Doesn't that sound like what that is? She said, don't ever question my motherhood. So if she's doing something wrong, you're not supposed to say anything. You see something, don't say something. That's what she's basically doing. Like a lot of bad parents. Let's also talk about this picture. Look at what she wrote here at the top. I'm a fine ass bitch is what she wrote about herself. I don't care about nobody's opinion. This is the woman who put her child in an oven and turned it on because apparently you mistaked it for a crib. And when you put a baby in a crib, you have to turn it on 350 whenever you put your baby in a crib, right? I guess that's pretty normal. Oh, yeah, look at that. Screenshot right there. And I didn't put that on her eyes. She did. Go look at her page. Go back. She wrote, I don't care. Mentality. Motherly mentality. Let's talk about this one. We still got the news video, so y'all hold on. There's more to talk about. January 10th, she wrote, my daughter be looking for me. She loves her mommy. Self-centered and selfish. January 10th, she wrote, me and my daughter bond is so close and I'm loving it. This child is barely 2 months old. To be honest, you really don't know that until your child starts walking. I've done it, raised children, so I know. Again, I want y'all to look. January 16th, what does she write about herself? My fine ASS. She's so cold, so fine. Now that she's a parent, now that some dummy, some man that had sex with her unprotected. Now she's fine all day long. She admitted it herself. But let me give you guys the fair usage and let me let you take a look at the couple of news videos. Here we go. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. And for those who thought that she's using the excuse mental illness, yes, she is, because that's what everybody else is doing. They're getting off on mental illness. So I would encourage you guys to start voting against this. If you guys would do me a favor and please click that thumbs up, leave a comment in the comment section, and here we go. Let's talk about it.
Kansas City woman made her first court appearance today after Jackson County prosecutors charged her in connection with her baby's death.
Last Friday, Kansas City police investigated the suspicious death at a home near East 41st and Forest. Fox 4's Lexi French explains what we know so far about the case.
A Kansas City mother has been charged for allegedly causing the death of her 1-month-old child. Mariah Thomas faces a Class A felony of endangering the welfare of a child, causing the child's death. Thomas was in court today for her first appearance. Mariah Thomas's.
I just noticed something. Somebody caught what I caught earlier. I forgot I meant to show this on the screen also. So we'll do it now. Beautiful little baby. And I want y'all to notice. What do y'all notice? What's wrong with this baby? I'm a father and I know what's wrong with this picture. I've helped raise a bunch of children, but I've raised 2 of my own biological children, plus my 3rd adopted daughter. That baby's diaper is full and it's busting out the seams. Another sign of a bad parent. The nappy has not been changed. Saggy diaper. Let me tell y'all this. Shout out to my daughter's mom, because I know that she was very, very particular about making sure that we got diapers that didn't irritate my daughter's skin. But one thing that I did, even though sometimes I wanted to go with different diaper brands because my cheap butt didn't have a whole lot of money, but one thing I always did was when she used the bathroom and it was time to be changed, Daddy changed her faithfully. Every time. No question about it. I will waste a diaper in a minute. Big facts. So thank y'all for calling that out.
Mariah Thomas's bond is set at $200,000. Her bond review hearing is set for February 20th. The conditions of her bond include no contact with children, medication compliance, and she must complete a mental evaluation. Kansas City police responded to a house near East 41st Street and Forest Avenue on Friday. At the scene, first responders noticed the baby was badly burned. Prosecutors say police were told the mother, Mariah Thomas, was putting her child down for a nap and accidentally placed the child in the oven instead of the crib. This is one of multiple cases in the last 2 years where a child was killed in Kansas City. The endangerment charge against Thomas comes weeks after Corinne O'Connor was also charged with child endangerment, resulting in the death of her 5-year-old son, Grayson O'Connor. He fell to his death from an apartment building.
I would encourage our community is just to be aware of what's going on around them, and if you have a concern about the safety of a child, potential abuse or neglect, that you report that to the authorities so that they can investigate and evaluate kind of what's the best next step for those children who might be under those circumstances.
Natalie Julian, the president and CEO of CASA of Johnson and Wyandotte counties, works with children in foster care after experiencing neglect in abusive or unsafe situations.
We figure out kind of what's going on, how we can help and provide resources and support for those children so that they are able to find safe, loving homes in whatever way that makes sense for them.
Jackson County Prosecutor Jean Peters Baker thanked first responders who worked the scene near 41st.
Now, moving on to more news from around the world, a horrific incident in the Kansas City has sent shockwaves across the United States where a mother mistakenly put her...
And I want y'all to understand, I believe that this is a India in the is it a country or a continent? Oh my God, I'm about to look stupid. I'm gonna say the country of India. Geography was not my strong suit. I'm sorry, it wasn't. This is from India, and they're talking about a story in the United States. That's how far this has reached.
1-month-old infant in an oven for a nap, and the baby died. The accused mother, Mariah Thomas, has been charged with endangering the child's welfare by the court of law, and the charges were announced by the court on February 10th. The Kansas City police officials reached the crime scene after this horrific incident was reported on February 9th at 1:30 p.m. local time. And according to the document that was filed in the court, Mariah told her grandfather that she thought she put the child in her crib and she accidentally put her in the oven. Her grandfather mentioned this to the city police officials, and notably the court's records do not show if Thomas has an attorney representing her, and if convicted, Thomas could face life imprisonment of 10 years, and this is according to the Missouri state law.
We have a friend in the chat that said that this also reached to Australia. That is amazing. So India and Australia, I wonder if there are any other countries that have heard this. Y'all got to think, because those countries are large countries and they have a lot of their own stuff that they have going on, especially over there in India. And I'm pretty sure over there in Australia, they have some things they're dealing with. So for these stories to reach that far, it's just the world looking at this like, what are y'all doing over there in America? Why are people behaving this way, right?
A horrific incident in Kansas City has sent shockwaves across the United States where a mother allegedly killed her 1-month-old infant by placing her in the oven. The accused mother, Mariah Thomas, has been charged with endangering the child's welfare by the court of law. The charges were announced by the court on February 10th. The Kansas City police officials reached the crime scene after the horrific incident was reported on February 9th at 1:30 p.m. local time. According to the documents filed in the court, Mariah told her grandfather that she thought she put the child in her crib and she accidentally put her in the oven. She accidentally put her in the oven. Child in her crib and she accidentally put her in the oven. She thought she put the child in her crib and she accidentally put her in the oven. That she thought she put the child in her crib and she accidentally put her in the oven. Mariah's grandfather mentioned this to the city police officials. Notably, the court's records do not show if Thomas has an attorney representing her. If convicted, Mariah Thomas could face life imprisonment of 10 years, according to the Missouri state law.
Just because I've been a father in this situation where I had young children, trying to take care of them, it's frustrating. It's a lot to deal with, especially if you're by yourself. And there were many times, especially during the weekdays, because my daughter's mom worked during the weekdays, that I'd have her, and it can just dealing with a child, your first experience with this can be difficult. First-hand experience. And I'm going to tell y'all, there were just random days that my mother would show up to my apartment where I was living at. And she just, like, she doesn't know that I was like, okay, cool. Like, because I was frustrated a little bit because I didn't know why my baby was crying. I think that's why I like slightly older children, like when they're 2 years old, when they can start talking and communicating a little bit. Because with babies, it's like, they can't communicate really at all besides crying and hollering. And no matter what you do, that might not fix it. It might not ever be good enough. And there were days my mom would just come by and just come pick her up like I'm about to take her off your hands. And I was like, okay. Talking about that family tree and just how important it is. And that's why for people who have a bunch of children, I don't understand why they do that and then complain about how hard it is when I personally know how hard it is, not only with one, but with two kids. It's hard enough to just raise one. Not only when you raise one, you don't hear this woman in none of her Facebook posts, unless you just scroll back, I guess, years ago or whatever. I didn't see a post that her talked about her child's father, baby daddy, husband, nothing. I heard her talk about how nobody wants her. So this sounds like somebody might have accidentally slept with her one time, since she's talking about she accidentally put her child in the oven. So I guess they didn't mean to actually sleep with her. How do you, like, first of all, an oven is in a kitchen. An oven, you have to open it, is metal. It's cold. You have to pull the oven grill out, set the baby on it, push the baby in. You hear it close. It don't sound nothing like a crib, and then turn it on. You got to go through all of that, and then you will hear the child scream. A blood-curdling scream, plea for anybody on God's green earth to help her. That is nothing of a crib, which is soft, normally wooden or plastic, or got the little netting around it with a mattress in it, covers, toys, and you don't have to close a crib up and you don't have to turn it on to 350 degrees. The only reason I believe that they're not charging this individual, this alleged human being, with murder is because she's saying that wasn't her intention. But if you look at the actions and just say, if this story was switched, if she were in my chair and I was in her shoes, and if you looked at this and heard what this man by the name of Jay did, you'd say he needs the death penalty. He absolutely knew what he was doing. And just because he said it was an accident does not mean it was an accident. And you can't charge them just based on what they said as an accident. You have to also judge by the merits of the person's actions. And the actions would say that you would absolutely 100% without a doubt not mistake an oven for a crib. That should be a murder charge. That should stick. But I think that they so weak in that court system, judge, prosecutor, whatever you want to call it, forgive me for being honest, but that's my honest opinion. I think y'all are too weak to really dive in and get the correct charges because y'all don't think that y'all going to be able to make it stick. This is murder, and there's no way around that. For her to be looking at potentially 10 years at 26 years old, she'll be out of prison before she's even in her mid-30s. 80% of that time, that'd be 8 years, potentially. 10 years to life means 10 years, 80%, you'll come up for a parole hearing. And what has she learned? Will she still be able to produce children? Will people still accidentally want to sleep with her and have sex with her just because she's got the parts to be able to do it? Unfortunately, you just don't have enough good men out there to realize that just sometimes, man, you just got to say no. Put your dick up and just not do it. All right. But to that baby, I think her name was Zariah. Young princess. Let me see if I can get her picture back up here. I don't care. Middle finger, drunk, no money, looks broke. Look at that. I can even tell how barren that apartment is. That apartment has zero furniture in it. Zero furniture. And she looks a hot goddamn mess. That bathroom looks freaking disgusting along with her belly. Not ready to be a mother, nor should she ever be a mother. Some people just shouldn't be mothers just because you have the parts to do it. Zariah, young princess, R.I.P. We'll pray for your soul in heaven, and we'll pray that your mother will meet the proper fate here and get the correct judgment. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Absolutely unbelievable and no excuse for this.